we have to understand is the food we're eating has its own microbiome, right? I know we don't tend to think about this, but even the vegetables, fruits, I mean, all foods, nuts, seeds have their own microbiome. I think I mentioned this before in previous lives. Plant microbiomes, they're in the soil system and the root. They're in the tissue of the plant and they're on the plant, right? Same goes for animals. Obviously, animals don't have roots. They more resemble us. The roots are in their gut, really, where they're absorbing nutrients. We're basically, animals are basically inside out plants, which is fun to think about because we are absorbing nutrients from the inside and it's going to the rest of the body. Plants absorb from the outside and it goes into the plant, but we're still using microbes. So the microbes, like Dahlia mentioned that one example, the microbes in animals are very different than the microbes in plants, but we do share some similarities. But typically, you can be around, let's say, a decaying onion a little bit better than in a decaying human body or an animal body. We recently had an animal die in our backyard, and it smells putrid.
Yes,
and that is because
horrible.
there's putrefaction and there's those putrefying bacteria inside of us. Plants don't technically have bacteria. So I could smell a decaying onion and be like, okay, kind of gross, whatever. When you smell a decaying animal body, you're just like, oh my goodness, because there's such a difference in the microbiome. All that being said, definitely wash your produce, especially if you're buying it from a grocery store or you're not growing it yourself. I mean, even if what we grow ourselves we still wash, you're not going to get rid of all the microbes. There will still be microbes on the surface and there will still be microbes inside of the plant. And that really speaks to soil quality. The better quality of the soil, the healthier those microbes are inside of the plant. So you're still going to get that benefit. The same is true for freezing. And that goes into a lot of some other questions we've been seeing. Freezing is still great. I mean, you are, like Dahlia mentioned, stopping some of that enzyme activities, kind of slowing down the microbes. You're not stopping it completely. You're just kind of putting them in slow motion, right? And you're hoping, okay, great, freezing. The other benefit to freezing that we've mentioned previously is that you are forming ice crystals, and the ice crystals perforate the cell wall of the plant, making it easier to digest. So freezing can actually be a benefit to many of you who are having gut issues and a variety of gut issues. And that's why a fresh strawberry next to a frozen strawberry that you thawed out look very different. The frozen strawberry is like, wah, when it thaws out. It's not that it's worse for you or bad for you. It's just that it's been perforated. All the cell walls are broken and it's lost its
water that the fiber was holding in. So some of the fiber got broken down, it let out the water and it looks soggy. But what I did find in researching some of this is, one, we wash with baking soda. There were some studies that showed that was really effective, and in some cases more effective than some of those commercial fruit and vegetable washes. So we wash in baking soda.
Good old baking soda.
Yeah. And then with freezing, really, it just puts the microbes into hibernation. It's kind of like you can actually put people into this. It's called suspended animation. And if you cool temperatures down enough, you're still alive. You're not like going into hypothermia and dying, but it's called suspended animation. So freezing can kind of do that to the microbes, and then they kind of come back to life and become active again once you thaw them out.